We don't argue that much, but it was always how many kids we wanted. And I was set on 4, right? 4 was my max, and she was always.
I wanted 6.
She was always, yeah. It was at least 5 or 6. And obviously we went for number 4, and we got 6. How would we describe our family? Certainly controlled chaos. This time of the year in fall, we don't have. I mean, it's an activity every night that we're going to, or we're piling the kids in to go, and that's just kind of the reality of it now. We can run to like Maverick real quick, and that's like a
date.
European vacation for us.
That is a date.
Like that is
Luxury.
We love it. Taking the garbage out, it's awesome too. I mean, that's a mini vacation for me.
I'll disappear every once in a while, and Steve's like, "Okay, where'd you go?" And I'm like, "I'm just upstairs."
Balancing all 6 kids, and it's like,
Sorry.
It's been 30 minutes now. I thought you were just changing your shirt. Ever since we were confined in a hospital space, I think we're now willing to go out and like take the kids
Especially
on
with the
hikes.
kids.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you were to look at our marriage and I think why it works, we complement each other very well. I think Savannah is very easygoing and optimistic in general. I am probably not easygoing and probably the opposite. She's able to balance me, and in some ways I'm able to help her as well. Playing football, you kind of learn to thrive in difficult situations, and you're always kind of you're thrown some adversity, and my coaches were always good mentors, and understanding that life's not easy and things are not easy, and despite that, you've got to do your best to fight through it. And then where Savannah is amazing is that she has this eternal perspective, and she has this incredible maternal instinct.
Thanks.
High five.
Hey.
We're very different, and I think what I was so attracted to Savannah, what made me so attracted to her was just the fact that we were different, right? She wasn't the loud kind of popular type and obnoxious, high school girl, right? She was, very mature, calm. She was intelligent. There was just this sense to her that attracted me to her, and I kind of knew ultimately, even in high school, as weird as it was, that she was someone that I wanted to marry.
With you, like, there's nothing I don't know.
Well,
unless there's...
Is now a good time to... Yeah, and I would agree.
I mean, when we were heading into the whole Hayes situation, my biggest fear was that I was going to lose you, not necessarily physically lose you, but lose you, like the person you are.
I look at what we've been through this past year and a half with our kids, and one thing I learned early on in life through sports was leadership, and I knew there's definitely not a greater time in life to be that of a leader than what I needed to show my kids after Hayes passed away and when Hayes was diagnosed. Life's not easy. Life's not fair. Doesn't mean that life can't still be okay and that we can't still live our life. And then I think a lot of it I look at Hayes' example, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what got us through.
I feel like when I was having low moments, you were there to lift me up, and vice versa. I don't know how we would have made it without that.
It's a roller coaster, and it comes in waves. And I've noticed that it's the times when I'm alone that it hits. It's the car rides. It's small little things. I saw a baby playing with a rattle that Hayes had. And it's those things that all of a sudden trigger it. But then, you'll have a moment like this, and then you kind of go back to your not peaceful state.
I mean, I've always thought you're a good dad, but you're amazing. Like, the kids just adore him.
I'm amazed with how strong she is. I'm amazed with how selfless she is. I've always known that, but I mean, she spent every day at the hospital, and you know, whether it was a physical therapy appointment or a food therapy appointment, she was nails on it, and she was dialed in. And I've seen this kind of grit and a little bit of an edge that I didn't know you had. I mean, it's kind of hot.
Oh, jeez.
No,
oh, wow.
I've seen this grit and this edge and this determination. My biggest worry, obviously, as a dad, as a parent, is how are they going to handle it. But I think a lot of the way they handle it is a reflection on how we handle it. And that's where I was compelled to, you know, really show an example to them and let them know that you can still smile. I think I've realized just what I'm capable of. It's made me realize that you know, I need to cherish the small things in life a little bit more.
The empathy has grown so much, and especially for each other. I feel like Bo's very responsible now, and Mia is very caring to the babies. Wes is 5 years old, so I want them to know that we're together. Like, there's nothing that's going to change the fact that we're a family and that we're going to be together forever. I mean, we've taught them, you always say, yeah, you get to go live in heaven after you die, and we'll all be together. But until you're actually faced with that situation, you don't know what you actually believe. And so I can say with a surety that I believe that I will be with my family again. And I think my kids believe that as well. And I want them to know that regardless of what hard things you face in life, like, family is everything, and family will get you through anything you need. I remember very clearly the day that we took him up to Primary Children's. We knew something was really wrong. We didn't know what it was, but we knew, you know, our life was shifting. And I remember the doctor walks in, pulls up the screen and shows us, this is growing in your child's brain. And I just remember, like, holding him in my arms, and I had this feeling that I should take his picture, but I just felt like I needed to tell people, like, what is going on, and his life is still important, and I want people to know what he's going through. And I mean, if there's any advice that I have for people, it's to tell your story. Regardless of what it is, you're helping someone. There's someone out there who needs to hear your story, and you can be a strength to somebody clear across the world.
Never did we imagine the amount of feedback and following that we got with this story. That was never our intention. It still is not our intention. But what we have found is that, honestly, I found how good the world is and how many people out there care. Now it's transformed into, we are somewhat of an example to handling adversity and finding hope when there's no reason to find hope. And there's no way to enjoy the journey because it's so painful, but don't forget that you still need to live the journey and that there's still a story to be told.
Life.
That's their life.
And provide that happiness for them, because this might be it, unfortunately. But I feel like Hayes is happy with his life. I think he looks back and it's not cancer that he remembers. It's us and the kids. And that makes me so happy. I feel very fulfilled with that.
And if you don't do something special with the life we've been given and Hayes' life, you know, then we're missing out.
It's a total disservice.
Yeah, right. And I think that's also in some ways of why we're still engaged on social media, because this is his story. It's still his story, and we're living our life through him. And but it's been amazing, social media and the form in which it's played in our life and how much it's helped us. And one day we hope to even go further with that and meet some of these people around the world that have followed us.
Book is laid across my lap.